Again and again and again and again, Mr. Woods. Eight 14-23, assault of a family member. 6-9-24, violation of protective order, assault bodily injury. Another assault bodily injury. February of 24, assault of a pregnant person for which you're on deferred now. And now you've picked up another. You now stand charged with criminal mischief. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cases, all in a matter of months. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Mr. Woods.
Yes, Judge. The defendant was traveling with the complainant to go see the defendant's child with his child's mother. The defendant continued attempting to be sexual with his child's mother, and the complainant engaged in a verbal altercation with the defendant. Upon arriving home, the defendant exited the vehicle and the complainant drove to a store close to her home. The defendant took the complainant's iPad and walked and followed the complainant to the Kroger. The defendant then jumped on the complainant's hood as she was driving and struck her window multiple times with a rock, causing damage to her vehicle. Estimated damage was $300.
Who is the complaining witness in this case?
The complaining witness in this case is a Jacqueline Perry, who is the same complainant in the assault of a pregnant person.
Tell me he's not supposed to have contact with this complaining witness? Guys,
Morgan.
Mr. Woods is on deferred for assault of a pregnant person.
Yes, Judge, I'm emailing the felony prosecutor right now.
Was he, as a condition of that, not to?
No threatening, harassing, or abusive contact with the complainant in that case.
Mr. Woods, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm now sending you for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. If you fail to go take the test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to revoke your bond and I'm going to make it so high. On one ankle, I'm going to put a GPS monitor because I'm ordering you not to have contact with this person, and you've shown repeatedly that you are incapable of following bond conditions. And I'm going to put a 1,000-foot radius that you're not to have any contact with this person. You're not to have any weapons. You're not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm going to test you repeatedly so I know that you're not using, but I'm sending you now for a drug test. Like I said, you failed the test, and if you fail to come back, things will not go well. Do you understand, Mr. Woods? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Take a seat for me. Of course. You don't think there's PC? Is Hunter in jail or?
No, he's the one that we rolled yesterday. We sent him to the drug test and I guess they're lower
Oh,
staffed.
right. Okay, please.
Yes, Judge. Officers were conducting a trespass investigation at a gas station in a high crime area where narcotics and gang activity frequently occur. Officers observed the defendant's vehicle parked for approximately 30 minutes in front of a no loitering sign, and officers approached the vehicle and observed a strong odor of marijuana. The officer then observed in plain view a handgun between the driver's seat and center console.
What's wrong?
He was just sitting in his car, Judge.
I get it, but it's not unlawful for an officer to just walk up to a car. And then he's just looking and he sees it in plain view.
Well,
There's nothing unlawful
the
about
gun
it.
was between the driver's seat and the center console.
It may be,
Okay.
but if it's in plain view, it's in plain view. He didn't hide it well enough, number one. Number two, even if he had, there's the odor of marijuana.
Well, they charged it as it being in plain view, not in the holster. And if it's between the gun and between the seat and the center console, is that immediately apparent that it's a gun?
That's what he's saying. He's saying it's in plain view, just mere looking at it, I could identify it as a gun.
Okay,
Now, remember, if you get the video and it shows something completely different, like his body cam goes in there and it's completely all the way down, something different,
okay,
then it's not in plain view. But this, remember, this is just probable cause.
okay.
He's saying it's in there.
Yes, Judge.
I don't see how it was immediately apparent, but reasonable minds can
Well,
disagree.
remember, there's a lot of different types of guns. There's bigger guns, there's smaller guns, there's guns with these long ass magazines that are this long, banana clips. There's just so many different variations that perhaps it's a bigger gun that it juts out just a little bit where he can see it and he identifies it as a gun.
Okay. As far as the reset, I spoke with pretrial services.
Yes, Judge, the results came back for THC, oxycodone, and
Oh, where is he?
You waived his appearance
Okay.
today.
We got to get him back on Monday.
Okay,
Okay, no, he's using meth allegedly. So back on Monday's our next setting, right? Yeah, back on Monday, and I'm not gonna, no. Okay,
thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
yes, ma'am, thank you.
Instead of the going in and out, they're gonna, instead of going in and out, they're gonna do a
Portable
portable
device,
device.
no
So
problem.
that's-
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you.
Ms. Gonzalez, I want you to understand one thing, that it's not you, it's not your lawyer. He's done a great job and has zealously advocated on your behalf. But on a second DWI, we have proverbial slaps on the wrist for DWI first, right? I get it. People make mistakes. It happens. We all make mistakes in life, right? But you can't continue to make the same mistake and expect the same result and reward, right? Because the proverbial slap on the wrist, the so-called time served, right, is exactly what it is, because you're supposed to do jail time on a DWI, right? And when you're walking out of here, and there's no jail time, it's basically, it's kind of like a reward, right?
Absolutely.
But you can't continue to pick up DWIs and expect rewards. We don't work like that. We don't operate like that. And we want you to learn. And believe it or not, I really care for you. And I want to see you succeed. I want to see you do well. But no more proverbial slaps on the wrist. There now is a lot of baggage that you're going to have on your back following today and for the rest of your life. After today, you're going to have these 2 DWIs on your record. Like I've been harping on you over and over, you get into a car, the slightest smell of whatever it is, they're probably going to take you down and charge you with a felony. And if you thought this was expensive, if you thought this was bad, wait till you get upstairs. There are judges up there that just watch out. Now, you guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 180 days in jail to be probated for 16 months. As part of the conditions, you will do thinking for a change. You will do a repeat offender DWI education class. You will do 2 victim impact panels. You will also do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need.
She's completed.
and recommended thinking for a change.
Change.
Okay, well, okay. I'm surprised to know, no outpatient, no, not necessarily residential, but no outpatient treatment at a minimum. Typically in these cases, when we see these, they usually order, intensive outpatient treatment or supportive outpatient treatment, which is kind of like a like AA-ish type issue. So regardless, if that's what they think, then that's what they think. I'm going to follow it. So that's what you must do. No breath test refusal. So if you're pulled over in a car and an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it. If you don't, you're in violation of the probation. 30 hours of community service and a guardian interlock. Do you have children, Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think that you probably be better served to do instead of the dumbass community service, to do it like a parenting class, because I think that has more value than just working on the street. Now, like I said, all we want you to do is learn from this, take these classes, take it to heart so that you don't ever come back.
Yes, sir.
If you do well, after some time, I will allow you to report via Zoom, okay?
Yes,
You
sir.
got to also understand that when you're doing these probations, these probation officers have your life in their hands, right? If you are nice to them, crack a joke with them. If you're their first appointment in the morning, you're probably going to get someone on their good side. If you go in there at 4 PM, you've got a bunch of excuses, right? They're probably not going to be happy. They're going to be irritated. They're going to want to go home. Don't expect any good thing. In life, that's how it goes. If you're nice, you get more with honey than you do with vinegar.
Yes, sir.
Same thing with a probation officer.
Got you.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never change this or undo this.
Yes,
If
sir.
you violate this probation, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. We're going to put you in jail, bring you back out. Talk about if you violate your probation. If you do, you're looking at 180 days in jail.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Absolutely.
How do you plead to the offense, ma'am? I will find you guilty. I will follow the agreement. Is there an accident in this case, Michael?
No, Judge.
Okay. I have to suspend your license. I'm going to suspend it for a year. Do you have a license now?
No, sir.
Okay. I think that that's probably what we should also do, is try to get her license, Have you ever had a license?
I did have a license. It got suspended with the first DWI. And back then they had a bunch of extra fees. It was the
Surcharges?
yeah, so I wasn't able to get it back because it was so high. Then they canceled all that out. I had just finished paying off everything to reinstate my license 2 weeks maybe prior to this happening here.
Michael, do you mind running her license?
Yes, Judge.
Did you handle the ALR hearing by chance?
I did not. There was
Okay,
nothing to handle.
On a subsequent, it's usually a 2-year license suspension when it comes with regards to the ALR. So it may very well that you may have a 2-year license suspension.
I do see that she's not eligible, Judge.
ALR,
Yes.
2-year. I mean, it
says-
depends what happened with the first ALR too.
Well, it actually says that she was suspended because due to no insurance. It's a surcharge due, no insurance.
You know when that was, sir?
Did you get a ticket for no insurance?
No, sir. I haven't gotten pulled over. This was the first time in many years.
Let's make sure.
I just know that it began September 15th of 2024, the suspension. And the end date, I think this is like in perpetuity until she gets something fixed.
Here, Lonnie, do you mind giving me that piece of paper? This is the driver's license division. The number, will you make sure it's 2600? I don't know if she can read that. I kind of wrote it
It's
funky.
2,600.
It's 2600. That's the number to the driver's license division for DPS. Call them and then they can tell you what you need to do to get your license. But you need to get your license.
Okay, yes, sir.
Just, you gotta get it.
I'm allowed to go get it if I can.
Yeah, of course. But
Thank you, sir.
before you just go do anything, call them first. And when you call them at 7 AM. Don't call at 8, don't call at 9, don't call at 1, because you'll never get through. As soon as the phone line's open at 7, that's when you call.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any questions?
No, sir.
Judge, there was a couple of things they were asking for the guardian interlocks. She does not drive or anything like that. And she has the monitor on now that's uncomfortable. Can we give her the portable device for now?
So, no. I want to switch it from the Scram to the portable.
Okay.
So But first, get the portable, then we'll take off this grant. So we want to make sure that you're not using, and the best way, first get that one. As soon as you do that, we'll take the other one off. But we want to make sure that you have that one on first. So yeah, one of the conditions on this probation is that you maintain a guardian interlock. Now, because you're not driving, understand that you're going to be signing an affidavit today, promising me you're not going to drive.
Yes, sir.
Do not drive. I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care what's good. If there's a burning building, it doesn't matter. Just don't drive.
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
The other thing, Judge, just, and this is just our way of refreshing the court's recollection, and there's been no alcohol that was found either in the results from the lab, and there's never been any alcohol associated with this particular DWI. This is one that was based upon
Sure.
some drugs, not even a synergistic type of a matter, it's simply they were drugs. So just so the court will be aware, there was zero alcohol in the system as a result of this.
Okay. Remember, DWI is not just alcohol. If you take too much NyQuil, what happens?
Yes, sir.
Right. Anything where it affects the normal use of your mental and or physical faculties.
Absolutely.
Right.
Your Honor.
Oh, I think that's it.
That's it. And just so you know, and I know how serious you take these matters, and I don't want to belabor it, but the idea is that we had already put in place, do you have Brittany's card with you?
It's in my
Okay.
folder.
So we had already dealt with the writ court people. There's a program director, Brittany, I can't remember her name now.
Would
But
you
we
like
have
for me to grab
a-
it?
no, that's okay. We have a card and everything. So treatment was gonna already be a part of
Right?
this agreement, independent of a formal writing, but I think this is the best thing to do in this circumstance. Is to,
When's the last time she's been tested? Have you done a test late?
I can check it. Details, fine.
Yeah. we need to do. Now, Mr. Knowles, we have one more thing. The surcharge.
oh yeah, I'm gonna ask that that be waived. There's no way that she can afford those things at all. If I need to prove it up, you need to prove up on it or.
What do you do for a living?
Take care of my father at home.
Do you get paid by the state for doing that?
No, sir. Because I live with him. I don't know what that's what they told me.
How do you get money? How do you survive?
I mean, he gives me whatever I can and he gets money from Social Security retirement.
What does he get? a month?
2,600 a month, something like that.
So you guys share that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Knowles, I'll waive the DPS surcharge.
Judge, the
Um,
last
thank you,
test was
sir.
on September 19th.
Negative?
I believe what it tested positive for was a prescription that she
The edible.
currently possesses.
Okay, all right. Yeah, just stay clean. That's all we're
Absolutely.
asking. Okay, all right,
Waiving supervision, please, sir?
sure. It's not about the money.
Judge.
It's never about the money.
I know, sir.
Just doing what you say you're gonna do
Absolutely.
in the time that you're supposed to do. it. All right, guys,
Yes, Your Honor.
good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it. Mike, thank
You
you.
have a great
Look, Ms.
Thanksgiving.
Gonzalez.
Thank you, sir.
Presumptive positive for alcohol switch.
Okay. I'm no, nothing else, just that's it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Woods, I'm telling you now, no alcohol, no dope. I'm gonna test you like crazy. If I find that you're using, it's not good. Do you understand me? I'm putting a monitor on your ankle. I don't want you to go within 1,000 feet of where she lives, where she works, where she breathes, hangs out. I will do everything in my power to protect every person of Harris County. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You are on felony probation. It's very possible they now issue a warrant for your arrest because of, number one, picking up this case. Number two, the complaining witness. We are going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. Probably behoove you to talk to someone quick. Waive the fees, monitor today, please.
Already have it for whatever.
Mr. Woods, in this case, a protective order has been issued. I would get to know it because if you violate the protective order, the state can and will file a violation or a protective order against you. And then things will really go sideways quick. So take heed of that protective order. There is an exclusion addressed on J Street that you're not to go to. Don't do it. We have a monitor on you, so we know exactly where you will be going and where you're not to go. You understand? Okay, sir. I'll have you sign a wreath of Victoria. We'll have you get with Felicia for your bond conditions, then you're free to go.